It's time now for some business news, and we can cross now to Jameel Ahmad in Dubai, Chief Analyst at GTC Group. Great to have you with us once again, Jameel. Tell us, how are global markets faring this morning?
Thank you, Hexie. I think that global markets, you're looking at a bit of a range-bound activity, which isn't a big surprise when you consider that both the US and the United Kingdom were both on a public holiday yesterday. But we're looking towards some very key economic data this week, specifically the inflation reports from both the United States, which is going to be the Federal Reserve's, which is the US Central Bank's preferred metric of inflation, which is the PCE. That comes out on Thursday and Friday. And on Friday, we also have the inflation numbers from the EU. This is very important because we had some very spoken comments from an ECB member yesterday that inflation in the European Union is falling in a sustained way, which seems to open the door completely wide open for the European Central Bank to cut interest rates as early as next month. So the market is excited about that. And I think if the market gets some more clues that the Federal Reserve, the US Central Bank, is on track to still cut interest rates this year, it should sustain some of the momentum to a rally that still remains near record highs for global markets.
Meanwhile, Jameel, Donald Trump has been showing some very strong support for cryptocurrency.
Absolutely has. He has said that our country, the United States, should be a leader in the crypto field, and he seems to be really trying to appease by that cryptocurrency voter base. This might be an early financial market risk, considering that the elections will not take place for another 5 months or so. But I do think as we start to unwind next month, which will be June, we should be looking ahead towards what the second half of 2024 will entail, which will be the third and fourth quarter. And I will not underprice the risk at all that the former United States President, Donald Trump, is a leading candidate into the 2024 elections. And I do expect the financial market activity to pick up across the board, whether that's cryptocurrencies, stock markets, foreign exchange, because I think by then we should have the clarity needed on when the US Central Bank will start cutting interest rates, which is really holding the market hands down at the moment, and we'll start looking towards new themes. So I do think that's more of an exciting story of volatility that we can look forward to for the second half of 2024.
And what else are you keeping an eye on today, Jameel?
We have one scheduled speech from another European Central Bank member. Again, it might not entail and talk about central bank policy per se, but the market is very excited right now regarding the European Central Bank cutting interest rates in Europe as early as next month, which I think is completely warranted and needed. And should those inflation figures later this week confirm that inflation is falling in a sustained way, then we should start to see even more repricing of multiple interest rate cuts into the early stages of 2025. We also have US consumer confidence readings. We should never understate how much of an important economic indicator that is, because consumer spending does make up for the greatest component and single largest activity of GDP growth.
Jameel Ahmad with that markets insight. Thank you very much.